What's going on, beautiful people? So I have it's a serious question. Have you ever dropped the soap before? And I'm not talking any soap or anywhere. I'm talking about a bar of soap, and not in the own comfort of your own bathroom in your home or a family member's home. I'm talking about like in a public place where a lot of people use. Now, keep that in mind. I'm gonna come back to that. So I had a traumatic brain injury back in 2014 at the end, coming into 2015, and I had a blood clot on the right side of my brain, shut the left side of my body down, right? So in 2016, I ended up trying to get back to where I was at physically, working out and stuff, and I ended up running a marathon, right? And went on to run more. And so there was this constant thing that people would say in different ways to me, right? They would say, "Man, Sean Brown or Kenny, like, man, you ran a whole marathon?" Like, and I would talk to them about the experience and everything, and oftentimes people would say, "Man, I would really, love to complete one day, but I'm not a runner like you." The everlasting thing that people always ended conversations with or said something in the conversation to me about was, "Man, I ain't a runner like you," or "Man, shoot, I wish I was in the military. They got y'all right." And the thing is, after a while, it kind of started, kind of offending me a little bit, because I'm like, yo, like, I get it. Some people, have a lifestyle that produces, a higher stamina, endurance, whatever. But like, I'm not gonna let the military, running track in high school, cross country, none of that. That's not get the credit for what I did, what I was able to perfect or get done. And so I started letting people know. I said, listen, I'm not a runner. I'm just not a quitter. And because I'm not a quitter, God turned me to a runner. In other words, what I was trying to tell folk was, listen, like, I get what you're saying, right? But I had a reset on life. Like, at first, I couldn't even run more than 5 or 10 minutes without being winded, and definitely couldn't do it for 26.2 miles. But the thing was, I focused on what it took to get there, to actually, complete the 26.2 miles. And then what it produced was somebody you could end up saying was a runner. But I never started off like that. It was like, because even the run I did before that was not enough to get that done, right? And so that's why I want to encourage people on, listen, you got to focus on what it takes to get there. You got to focus on actually not quitting, like going out there on the days you got to do 10, 15 miles or whatever, you know what I mean? Just getting the miles done. So with that being said, right, this is called Crooked Teeth because I know people who, wore braces for years, all throughout high school, stuff like that. And later in life, you see them with crooked teeth again, or overbite, or a gap in their teeth, right? And oftentimes, it's because people didn't wear their retainer, all right? So today, that was the whole point I wanted to make, which was the importance of the retainer. A lot of us have things in life that we're trying to accomplish, goals we're trying to get done, place we're trying to get to. But oftentimes, that final result, keeping that final product intact and in place and work for your life, after you get to that point, you gotta have a retainer. You have to, or know the importance of the retainer. So even like back to running, it's like, okay, I can say I did a marathon before, but in order to do it again, I gotta keep running. I gotta keep focusing on that thing. It's gonna keep me retaining the ability to get done the things that I want to accomplish. So I want to ask you today, what is the retainers in your life? Do you have any? Do you use it? All right, because you want to keep from having that crooked teeth all over again. Now, you probably was wondering, okay, what does it have to do with dropping the soap, right? Here's the thing. I was taking a shower, right? And hundreds of people come through here and take showers, military-wise. And I didn't drop the soap. But what I thought about was how whenever we drop soap, especially in a public place, we just throwing it away. It's like, man, it's nasty, it's on the floor. And I feel like God reminded me of that, because some of us, even after we get to our final destination, that we get to where we want to be, like, sometimes we don't use a retainer because we feel just like that bar of soap, like, man, I'm just not worthy, I'm not good enough, man, you see, I don't feel like I'm worth it. But just, the thing is, that bar of soap, just because it was dropped in a place you think is dirty, doesn't mean that it still can't clean some things up, all right? And that's why I want to say that I feel that's how it is in our lives. God still can use you no matter how dirty you are. No matter where you've been dropped, stepped on, thrown away, you still can clean some things up. He still can clean up your life, all right? Again, find that retainer and make it work for you. Be blessed, be example, be encouraged.